Thank you guys for getting we're going to be talking about time management tonight. Super, super important. But before we get into that stuff, we're going to do some announcements and recognition. So I wanted to give a shout out to our top volume producers, Amanda Fuller, Patrick Paquette. Both had 500 PV, and Jean Reed had 800 PV. Woohoo! Our top recruiters, Kat McMaster, had 2 new coaches this past week, and then Chris Jean Reed, Joyce Bukenton, Karina Betancourt, and Carly Perez each had 1 coach. Job. Congrats to Angie Astray for a 2-star diamond. And then congrats to everyone who has Success Club 10, Jean Reed, Kat McMaster, Patrick Paquette, and Success Club 5, Rebecca McFarland, Monica Bays, Chris Miller, Emily Neller, Cherie Stewart, Carrie, Josephine Tilly tonight, Alexander, and Kim Miller. Woot. And y'all, there is still time to hit Success Club, so push, push, push. I know I've talked to a lot of people, and August is a rough month with everyone going back to school. And that just means you have to talk to more people and double your efforts. Because trust me, we are all there right now. But make Success Club non-negotiable, and you all can make that happen. So I think that's all of the announcements that I have. So let's talk time management. And I want this to be very interactive. So you guys raise your hand if right now you struggle with time management. Okay, everybody. So I'm happy you're on this call. Awesome. Okay. This is important, really, really important that hand raised, that you figure out how to manage your time well. And because we all have 24 hours in a day. So why some coaches, that work full-time jobs and have families and doing this business, why are they successful when others of us struggle with making this and everything in? So I'm going to be going over all of that and what you need to do to fit in Beachbody. And so I'll just give an example of my day today and what I did. I woke up at 5:30. And when I woke up, I did my workout right away. I did not check my phone. I did not check my computer, Facebook, or email, or anything. I just logged in to club.teambeachbody.com, did my workout. After that, I did some personal development and drank coffee. And then TJ woke up. So we did his breakfast, we hung out, and then I brought him to school. And that's when I actually started working. But before he went to school, I would have to either work a little bit when he was playing on his own, doing his own thing, or wait until nap time. And so when I finally did start working, what I did, obviously I still did not check Facebook at this point, and this was after 9 o'clock in the morning. I did not check Facebook or my email. That is like key. Don't get sucked into those things first thing in the morning. If you do, it's gonna like wreck your whole day and all of your time management. You're gonna get sucked in the news feed and you're not gonna get anything done. I know from experience because I've been there. So what I did was I used keep.google.com, and let me see if I have this open. I can actually show you. I do have it. I'm going to screen share really quickly. You use to have a to-do list, that's totally fine. I just started using this and I love it because I like color coding and having the to-do list and being able to check things off. And so I have my business to-do list right here. And these are just different things that I need to do. So I just opened this up and I started brainstorming. I did like a brain dump. Everything that I needed to get done today to move my business forward. And so you'll see here I have a business to-do list. I have new coaches that I signed up in August. I have a regular to-do list just for normal life. I have my goals for August. I have goals for 2015 and just other random note stuff. So keep.google.com. Awesome Note is another one that you can use, an app on your phone. It's whatever productivity tool you want to use, that's fine. And so I made that list and I had it in order of importance. Like, what must get done today? What, like, top 3 things that need to get done today, otherwise someone will die. Not really, but like what really like is really important for that day. And so that's what I did. I put it in order of importance. And then what helps me is to set a timer. So you can use right on your phone, set a timer for an hour. If you're going to do 1 power hour, set a timer for an hour and just go to work, and do not open up Facebook unless you have messages that you need to respond to and it's that part of your to-do list that you're on. And so, like, basically, don't get sucked into messages. And so I checked my email after I did everything that I needed to do first. Then I opened up my email and I responded to all the messages that are in there. And that was at 9:45 this morning. I have not checked my email since 9:45 this morning. I checked it once. So don't get sucked in to going back to messages, responding, because you're going to be there forever, all day long. And don't get sucked into checking the notifications on Facebook. If you check every single notification, there's a problem here. Like, as your team grows, that's all you're going to be doing and all you're spending your time on. You have to be very, very, very purposeful with your time. Something that helped me in the beginning was there's an app called Time Doctor. You can download that app. I think it has a 30-day free trial. But that's a good way to see where you're spending your time. And I believe it also tells you, like, don't log on certain websites and things during that time. Another thing that helped me in the beginning was I actually had a notebook with me, and I would log what I was doing every 15 minutes of the day. For 24 hours, I would log I actually did this for 72 hours, I think. And it was kind of eye-opening, the things that I was doing. Another thing, for my phone, I don't have any notifications that go off on my phone. The only thing I know is when someone calls me and leaves a voicemail, like I get phone calls and text messages. But I don't get Facebook notifications, I don't get email notifications, any of those dings or anything, because that can be really distracting. And so if you're in the middle of your power hour, put your phone away. Put it upside down, somewhere you can't see, and turn off the notifications, because you need to be laser focused and don't have 5 million browsers open. Do one thing on your to-do list, be focused on that one thing, and get through it. And so when I'm checking emails, I don't have Facebook open. I'm checking my emails, and then I'm doing that until I'm done, and then I'll move on to the next thing on my to-do list. Other things that are important is to delegate anything that doesn't need to be done by you. And so as your team grows, the more things that you can delegate. And so she's not on right now, but I was talking with Marina today, and she's asking me about the next Backstage Pass event that we're doing. And I said, oh, that's awesome, you brought that up. Why don't you create that event for us? I just delegated that right there. So that's something that I don't have to do. That's one less thing that's on my plate. And so as your team grows, delegate. And it helps build leadership skills. And so if you have a coach on your team, a new coach, say, hey, run this challenge group with me. I need you to create a post for every day. Go look in the Coach Online office for the sample posts. Little things like that are going to help your coaches build confidence, and it's going to help take things off of your plate that you don't have to do. And it just empowers your coaches, empowers them to know that they can do it and that you believe in them and you trust them. Other things that you can do is to outsource anything that doesn't need to be done by you on Elance, or hire like a high schooler to do it for you. And so elance.com, you can find my assistant is in the Philippines, and I pay him $6.50 an hour. He works 10 hours a week for me. But if you're just getting started, you could hire someone to work 2 hours a week for you. That's $12 a week to help push your business forward. I think it's worth it, especially if you're treating this like $1 million business, which it is, and which you should be treating it as. Key. Some books and resources I wanted to show you. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. And so y'all, trust me, I was not great at time management stuff. I'm still not perfect at it, but I'm getting better. And I was telling Kim, I watched Friends on Netflix for the first time in 2 years. I was so focused on building my business that I did not watch anything on Netflix for 2 years. And so that's just it's up to you and the sacrifices that you want to make to build your business. But I cut out any distractions because I know myself, and when I got started, like first trimester of my pregnancy, I was a diamond coach, but I got sucked into watching Grey's Anatomy, and I watched like the entire show, everything on Netflix. And hey, I fell down to Emerald. That was awesome. Like that's me, and I know myself, and so I cut out everything that wasn't like business related. I was so focused, y'all, like ridiculously focused. So I showed you keep good. Here's a great video. How millionaires schedule their day. This is Brendon Burchard, and he's the guy that trains Chalene Johnson, and a bunch of other entrepreneurs that you probably have heard of. So I would go to the source. He's amazing. So Brendon Burchard, How Millionaires Schedule Their Day. This is a 30-minute video that is well worth it. And then this is 30 Day Push, Chalene Johnson's free 30-day program. It's like a 5-minute video every day for 30 days, and it'll change your life. Pretty much everything that I've learned is from this woman. I love her. So 30 Day Push. Who is committed to going through the 30 Day Push? Raise your hand. Y'all should have your hands raised if you haven't gone through it, and y'all better stick to it, because this is stuff that'll, if you're serious about building this business, you need to do it, and you need to go through those 30 days, and you need to make, it's 5 minutes a day. Like, y'all, you guys have 5 minutes a day, so make it a priority, and get through it. And so, like I said, we all have 24 hours in a day, so it's up to you to make the most out of your time. And this business doesn't take a whole lot of time. Like, I worked 3 hours this morning, and that's pretty much it. And then I went to Gainesville and ate lunch and had fun and played with TJ and lived my life. And so, as long as you're making the most of your time, you can build a really solid business. It's just being disciplined and doing these things and making it a habit. So that's all I have for you guys. Do you have any questions? Don't be shy. Don't make me call on somebody. Sarah, what's one area that you struggle with when it comes to time management?
My biggest thing really is being a full-time working mom, basically a single mom. I don't get any help from anybody, 2 toddlers. I'm overwhelmed constantly. I would love to hear from some other like working moms, how they kind of schedule their day. I'm already up like at 4 a.m. to start work at 6. I don't get home until 5, and I feel like I'm just a mess when I get home. The kids are all over the place. It's always a mess at home, and I can't seem to unwind, to focus and do what I need to do for the business. That's where I really struggle.
Do we have any working moms that are on? Your babies. This might be a great question.
Yeah, it's my baby. Hi.
This might be a question for Angie, because Angie is a full-time accountant and has a toddler, and she's been able to make it work. I think she works on her lunch break. Do you get a lunch break at your work?
I do, but they have a strict like no cell phone policy at work, and so I mean I can sneak it real quick, but not long enough to be able to really get much done. Like, I've sent messages out already on my lunch breaks, but then it's hard to really follow up with people until later in the day, and it just gets overwhelming with so much that I have to do when I get home. It's just, and I feel like before I know it, it's 10 o'clock at night and it's time for bed, and I'm exhausted and I can hardly even hold my eyes open.
Does anyone have advice for Sarah?
I don't know. Like, I'm not working. I'm staying home now, but the one thing that I can do that makes me feel like I'm kind of dividing my time between all of my responsibilities is to really schedule out my time and plan in advance. Like if I can't, I've got like 30 people that I need to get back to, like messages, like that have asked me a question or like responded. I've got to get back to them. I can't sit down and do them all at once. Like not with my kids running around and like trying to manage all that. So like I'll say, you know, tonight from like for the next 30 minutes, that's what I'm going to do. And then the rest are going to have to be tomorrow from like, you know, a certain amount of time. Or if I want to buffer my posts for my challenge group, I'm going to plan to do that Wednesday. That's the one thing I get done Wednesday night. You know, so just kind of like spacing out instead of doing a little bit of all of those things that I want to do in one sitting or in one day, I try to space them out throughout the week just because you're so limited with your time and what you can do. I don't know if you can break it up throughout the week and just kind of do one specific thing each day.
That's sort of how I try to do it now a little bit.
Yeah.
Like 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. But I find too, when it's finally quiet at home, it's so late at night that everybody that I would try to talk to is already in bed anyway. So that's kind of like,
That's fine.
you know, I'm having a hard time with that.
Yeah, they'll respond
What's
the
that?
next day. They'll respond the next day. And then you'll
I guess I
respond.
always feel bad because I know for me, my phone goes off like my notifications and I hate like trying to wake anybody up. You know what I mean? Maybe that's just me. I just try not.
Turn off the notification. Send your message. Let go. They'll respond when they respond, and then you'll respond when you have the time.
Okay.
That was one of the things I struggle with because a lot of my people, my customers and my challengers and my coaches are in Alaska and I'm in Florida. So there's a 4-hour time difference. So like I'm better about it now, but like they were messaging me like at dinner time. They get done with dinner and then they're checking all their messages and stuff on Facebook. And it's like 11 o'clock here and I have to be up at 5. And I'm just like, I feel like obligated. I need to get back to people. But I'm like, it's so late. I'm staying up till midnight, 1 o'clock some days. I'm like, I can't do that anymore. Like I had to set hours where I'm like, you know, if you need something, like, you know, it's an emergency, you've got to know, like right now, message me and I'll get back to you. But for the most part, I'm done at a certain time and I just turn my notifications off and like, I'll get back to you tomorrow. So
It's never an emergency to form somebody. They can wait.
Yeah, now I'm talking like coaching and stuff like that. Like coaches have a question.
Yeah, they can wait 24 hours to hear from you. I did not respond to any emails all weekend. That was the first weekend I like took off from responding to emails in like 2 years. But dude, everyone survived. Like, it'll be fine if they don't hear from you right away.
No, you're right. I guess I just didn't want to be an inconvenience because I know I get irritated when I'm being woke up when I have to get up early. But you're right. You know, they can respond, I guess, when they have time and won't hurt my feelings if they don't get back to me right away.
Don't overthink it.
Cool.
Just do it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the tips.
Yeah. Anyone else have questions about this? Was this helpful? Do you have some new strategies you're going to implement?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, last call on questions. Okay, cool. All right, we'll get some sleep. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye, you guys.